Hey YouTube, how you doing today? Did you stay awake at night? Stay up last night watching the returns come in? I like to do that. Sobering. But the business at hand is Parashat Toldot, T-O-L-D-O-T, and that means generations, particularly Isaac. And it is Genesis 25:19 through 28:9, and for this Sabbath. And as an overview, we have Jacob and Esau being born. We have Esau trading his birthright for lentil pottage and bread. And it's kind of fun to read Jasher along with Genesis. Haven't read it in a while, but according to Jasher at this point, Esau has just killed Nimrod, so he knows the whole world is after him, and he would be despondent, and maybe that's why this happened. If that's true. Jasher's not scripture. So then we have Isaac moving to Gerar, and he lies about Rebecca not being his wife because she's a pretty woman, and he's scared that one of the locals might kill him there. And of course, we know his dad did that twice. So then we have Jacob stealing Isaac's blessing. We have Jacob runs away from Esau, and we have Esau taking another wife. But I'd like to focus on the blessing that Jacob stole, and that's Genesis 27, 28, and 29. And that reads, Therefore Elohim give thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of grain and wine. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. So, I'm sure you have too, but I've read through here a number of times, and I just kind of blew through it, and Esau didn't get the good blessing, but Jacob got the good blessing. But these two blessings are monumentally different. I mean, Jacob's is so comprehensive and encompassing, compared to Esau's. So let's go over this. I've got this on the board here, the magic board. See how that is. Yeah, that looks all right. All right. So verse 28, Therefore Elohim give thee of the dew of the heaven and the fatness of the earth. So we know the dew of the heavens is the night mist and rain, and we've got fatness of the earth is fertile fields. I suppose you could add minerals to that he might need. Plenty of grain and wine. Plenty means there's an abundance of it. We get over to verse 29. Let people serve thee. And if you look up that people, that's his fellow Hebrews in the country there. And serve means labor. So they're the rest of the country is to perform labor for Jacob. And nations are to bow down. Well, that means to do obeisance, and that's like the highest form of respect. So then he says, this is what thy sons. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren. And if you look this up, thy brethren here, I believe, is his extended family, and he's to lord over them. He's their ruler. But it says become, so that's a process. And he says, let thy mother's sons bow down. So that's his immediate family. So we've got his immediate family, his extended family. We've got his nation, and then we've got the other nations. It's pretty much the whole earth is Jacob's. And another thing to point out is Jacob's blessing was personal, because Isaac said, Elohim give thee. Whereas when we get down to verse 39 for Esau, Isaac doesn't say Elohim give thee. He just says thy dwelling shall be. So that's, in my opinion, that's much diminished. So he's talking about where he's going to live at. But let's read that. Esau's blessing is in Genesis 27, 39 and 40. And Isaac his father answered and said, because he's Esau has come back from the field with the venison that his father requested, and he's just heartbroken because he's found out that he didn't get the blessing that he thought he was going to be. And he says, don't you have anything left for me? So 39 and 40. And Esau his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be fatness of the earth, and the dew of the heaven above. And by thy sword thou shalt live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, and thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. So, it's hard to believe that, and by thy sword shalt thou live, unless it's just he's saying that you'll live, because we know that Yeshua in Matthew 26:52, this is what Yeshua says after Peter's cut off the priest's servant's ear. He says, then said Yeshua unto him, put up again thy sword into his place, for all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. And I don't believe he's talking about self-defense there. He's talking about as a means to make a living. So then, Rebecca hears that Esau wants to do bodily harm to Jacob, and she sends him over to Laban, her brother. And in Genesis 28, 3 and 4, Isaac blesses him yet again. And of course, Isaac, I suspect he knows what's going to happen. He's going over there to get a wife. So Isaac says, and Adonai bless thee, and make thee fruitful, and multiply thee, that thou mayest be a multitude of people, and give thee the blessing of Abraham to thee and to thy seed with thee, that thou mayest inherit the land wherein thou art a stranger, which Elohim gave unto Abraham. So, Jacob's just got the blessings pouring in 360 degrees. So, first of all, the world is going to be his, and now he gets a blessing for his seed. And you know what? If we bless Jacob's seed, we can be blessed. So we can get blessings, from Isaac and Abraham. So, but back to the election just a little bit, because not to interject politics, but but I used to say I hated both parties equally, but that's not the case anymore. Many of these Democrats, all of the Senate Democrats have signed on to the borderless country concept, and many of them are Democratic National Socialists, which is what the Nazis were. People call these right-wing people Nazis. The Nazis weren't right-wing; they were National Socialists. So, it's a lot of these races, like the Georgia governor, Florida governor, Florida Senate, a number of Senate races were nail biters, like a half of a 3/4 of a point. So, and even in secular sense, I was reading this morning that people expect dark times ahead, and so, perhaps this president that we have has been brought out, to show how corrupt our country is. I enjoy living here. It's the best country I've been to, and I've been to a lot of countries. But I think we should all be introspective and see if we think that we have, the Father's hand covering us, because I think we're going to need it. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you again next week, and we'll see what Jacob gets himself into over in Syria.